Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about claiming children on your taxes. So, there are a few general rules. The first is they do have to be a U.S. citizen. A child can only be claimed on one tax return. A dependent cannot claim a dependent on their own tax return. So, for example, if your daughter has a baby, you cannot claim both of those people if your daughter is filing their own tax return. You also cannot claim a spouse as a dependent if you file jointly. So there's just a couple general rules. For the child tax credit, there are a few different tests that have to be met. The first is the IRS is going to look at the age of the dependent. So when they look at the age, they look as of December 31st of that tax year. So for 2024, they're going to look at December 31st of 2024 and look at what age the child is on that date. So if they are under 17, the child tax credit is $2,000. If they are 17 or over, the credit is $500. Now, there are a couple different things that go into this when claiming kids over the age of 16, so 17 plus. If your child is a student, you can claim them up until the age of 24. Even if they have a job and they're making money, that's okay. If they are not a full-time student, then they have to make under $5,050, and that's the number for 2024. And they cannot provide over half of their own support. You have to provide more than half of their support. So that's basic for the child tax credit. There are also other dependents that you can claim. So this is other people that are living with you that you are paying for more than half of their support, and they can also not make more than $5,050 in the year. Again, that's the number for 2024. Sometimes there are a lot more complex family situations. There can be small nuances on if you can claim that dependent or not. So if you have questions on this, definitely reach out to us. We're happy to help. One thing you definitely want to look at is if your kids are reaching the age of 17, you want to start planning your taxes accordingly. So since the child tax credit goes down from 2,000 to 500 once your kid hits the age of 17, you may need to start having more taxes withheld from your employer to make up for that, or you may end up owing if you don't have those taxes withheld. So that's something to start planning for a couple years before we start talking about that with you. And once they hit 16, we definitely want to make those adjustments to your W-4. Another scenario that comes up a lot here is if your kid is going on a mission. So if they are going on that mission, and say they leave in May, unfortunately, you're not able to claim them on your tax return because you will not have provided over half of their support for the year. The IRS views that money that you are paying for the mission as a contribution to the church rather than support for your kid. The church is the one that is providing the support for them. So if you have provided half of that support, or have not provided half that support for the year or half the year, then you cannot claim them. But say they leave in August, then you would have supported them for more than half the year, so you can still claim them in the year that they leave. Now, when they come home, it's the same scenario, just the opposite. So if they come home in August, you will not have provided half their support for the year. Lots of different nuances that go on with claiming dependents. If you have questions, reach out to us. We love to help with this and make sure it's clear for you. Thank you.